ladies and gentlemen, this Bunny Says. Thank you for joining me for another episode. I was going to say issue. Another episode of Minecraft. There is something... Okay, hold on. I was just looking at the map here. You know, it's something I sort of like, is I like the fact that I could actually see the river here. And you can actually see the wall. I don't know how well it comes out on, actually see the wall starting here. Oh wow. Okay, hold on. The roads go all the way over there. This is a mountain area here, so... Or a hill. Man, so that means... I guess I'll put the wall all the way over to the river? Then back here against this mountain here, then... Maybe from this river to this river, and then to the mountain. Wow. Goddamn, I think... Okay. I think it's a lot more construction project than I imagined, I think, yeah. Okay, that's alright, you know, we're gonna do this. I was trying to get the food thing to work again with this. Now I found a mapping program that works good in Forge. Unfortunately, it does not work with, well, not in this map. I think if I started a brand new map, it would work. It does not work with the food thing at the same time as this. So I can get Forge to work and I can get the map to work, but I can't get the food to work. The food thing. Okay. Let's see, there's the mountain there. Wow. That's a lot further than I thought. Let's see, past this stuff here, here. Because the road goes all the way over to, oh yeah. Wow, I swear this place expanded. Did I do that? Did I make it to go this far out? I don't think I did. Oh, okay, okay. You know what? We're turning this place into a mini a major fortress, I guess. Let's just get going. It's gonna be, alright, I am gonna have to hit so-and-so at some point, because that is just not enough netherwork, certainly. And I'm gonna have to do some landscaping here. Maybe I'll start angling this way towards there. Okay, alright. Let's... Oh god, do I have dirt? No. Okay. Let's get some dirt going. And at some point, if I can, maybe I gotta flatten off a lot of some of this area here. Or make it like the level of this height. I'm sorry, maybe about this height. You know, just so it's an even plane. That might be interesting. That would certainly take a while. I don't think I'd make you watch that. Not that this is any better, but at least I'm doing something. That would just be digging dirt up, filling in, and then move. That would be basically just digging dirt up and just moving it somewhere else. Which is I guess what I'm doing here, really. But, okay, let me go to sleep here real quick. There we go. How much dirt do I have here? One stack. Huh? All right, let's get at least one more stack going here. Just even some stuff off here. That's all. There we go. Maybe anything over here to look nice, or yeah, this giant blob here. Let's get rid of this. Okay, yeah. Let's just make this nice flat ground here. Okay. Maybe I'll put up a couple more golems or something, I don't know. If this is going to be this big an area. I've never enlarged a city like a town before, a village. Maybe, I don't know. I've never made it that big that, like, there was anything more than, like, 10 villagers or something, maybe max. And I didn't even do that. It would be like I come across a village of 10 people, maybe, So I don't know what happens if you make an entire area and you make houses all over the place and put apartments up and everything, and does this just suddenly become like Giant Cityville, or like I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. Really. Okay, let's All right, let's move the wall down a bit here. I just had a very bad joke in my mind, and I'm not going to say it. There you go. Let's put that there. And let's do that. Make that look nice. Okay, there we go. Alright, I guess. How am I gonna... Yeah, oh, you know what? I'll start from the tree here. That's what I'll do. This tree will be the border. the change of the angle border. Okay, that's good. Alright, very good. Now, how is this gonna look? How is this? Okay, hold on. Hold on, how this is gonna come out. What happens here? Okay, I guess not. I have to. Okay, obviously I have to do like this. But what comes out here now? Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. I'd have to do that. Okay, that's all right. Okay, all right. God, that looks terrible. You know what? I'm gonna lower the ground instead, one step at a time. Like here, make it go down a bit until it reaches to about here. And then I could go straight, because this just looks like a giant mess. I'm not liking this at all. And if what I'll end up doing is moving the entire. I'll move the whole Earth instead to make it look nice, which is terrible. But what I mean is, what I'll do is I'll go down a couple squares, like here, like that. That should be, yep, okay, yep, that's it. Oh, I didn't have to go down that far at all. Okay. I could have stayed next to the tree. Only 2 squares. So let's do this. God, that bouncing is crazy. We'll come up to here, then we'll go down there, then down one more, and that'll be it there. Which means I want to get rid of... Yeah, okay, yep, this area here. I have more shovels, yep. Well, I got the dirt I wanted. By the way, I would like everyone to know that the Red Sox won the American World Series. Just wanted you to know that. Quite happy about it. I think people who have listened know that I'm a lapsed baseball fan, I guess. There we go. That should work. But still one nonetheless. And I understand. I get what people say about baseball. I do get it. It's boring. Lasts too long, nothing happens. Is it really a sport? People just sitting there throwing stuff at each other. Yes, it is really a sport, but could anything that slow be really a sport? Yes, it is. But there's a certain type of... Damn, that still come out terrible looking. What is it? Can I get up there? No, okay. Oh, okay, alright, that's good. Hold on. I put that there. Can I get up there? No, good. Okay, I don't. Alright, great. No, you know what? I do want this to be one higher. But it's, baseball is sort of like... Baseball is it's for old guys like me, face it, put it that way. It's for old dudes like me. Or older guys like me appreciate it more, put it that way. It's the type of sport where, we just sit around and it's your dad's sport, right? It's a sport your dad watches. He comes home, he sits in his chair, he takes 2 beers, sits there, turns the TV on, starts watching the game, and falls asleep in his chair. That's baseball. Can I get over this? Yes, of course I can get over that part, but we'll have to do that. I will have to do that. Okay. Now I'll start going at an angle here. Actually, maybe should I pull in this way? then start going over here? Yeah, I think I will. Okay. Let's do one more here. This is where it'll start. Yeah, actually, yes. Okay. But I do. It's a slow sport and meant to be sort of appreciated for the minutiae of it. Excuse me. And it's also a very it's also a very mathy sport. I think it's sort of like the early nerdy sport, really, to be honest. It's the early nerd sport. Like, now, by the way, when I say nerd, I mean I'm not making fun of. I've said it before. I'm a giant nerd, so it's not like I'm trying to say like other people are nerds, and I'm not. But here we go. Oh well, okay. Let me hurry up. Hurry up and sleep here. Okay. Oh, this way a little bit. Okay. I wanted to make sure. Okay, I can't get up over. Alright. Now this doesn't look too bad, I guess, but okay. I will put up like, I'm going to put up like a little column or a little tower or something here and there. Like maybe I'll put a little tower here. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's it. I'll put a tower up here. It'll break out. It'll block off the sea. It'll be a little like 3 by 3 or 4 by 4 tower or something. That's all. That'll be cool. And I want this tree here. You know what? No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm getting rid of this tree here. There we go. But I was also thinking about something. AO, Antarctic Oasis, was, I know you're the only one who listens to every one of these for some reason. And I know I believe you're the only one who thumbs up every one of these as well. Thank you very much, by the way. I can't appreciate it any more than that. I can't say, all I can say is that I do notice. But you had a question. You were talking about something, and I was having a surprising amount of thought. Like I've been thinking about it for like 3 days, like straight. You were talking about a culture, like Australian culture, and I wondered if I'm wondering. What did you... I mean, I think I got the idea of what you were saying, but... What is this guy doing here? Is he having a problem getting up, or... Can he not get up here, or... What is he doing? Does he need more... Should I do that? Is that what the problem was? He couldn't... Uh-oh. Is it too low? Is the roof too low? Hold on. I mean, these golems just love to be up high, don't they? Look at them. They're just all hanging up top there. Okay, let me leave him alone, see if he goes into the room. Okay, I'll leave him alone, whatever. But you were talking about culture, and I think well, no, I can't say I think I got what you were saying. I would like to know more about what you were thinking about. I think you were talking about from when I was doing the like American Truck Simulator. When I was doing that, I was talking about, I guess when I was talking about like the billboards and stuff. I think I was talking when I was talking about that. Oh, did he get in there? Hold on. Where did he go? Where is that idiot? Whatever. Okay, whatever. But I kept on thinking, like, because there's a certain point where, or I think there's a certain sort of point where there's this sort of critical mass point where cities, when they start to become, I'm gonna watch this guy go into a room. Oh, well, he got up there. He walked up there. Okay. Where cities start to become cities, where and I don't mean just the population. I mean where they start turning into, where they start going from places with character, individuality, to urban sprawl. You know, where they start becoming like just that massive city, like where you're looking at it going, it's like when you see sort of that stuff and you go where you're thinking to yourself, it looks like every other big city I've ever been to, you know, like sort of like that, you know. Or it feels a lot like, you know, even if you're like, I could go to like Dubai or something like that and be like, well, maybe not Dubai, but you know, I could go to like Chicago, and then like maybe not London exactly, but you know, some neighborhoods in like, yeah, maybe London or something, or somewhere in England or something. When you're looking at it going, a big city, remember, I'm not talking about little towns, townships or anything like that. I'm talking about the bigger areas of like, you know, a few million people, 5 million people or something. And you're looking at it going, that's just where you're looking at it, where, now not everything, but where you're seeing some stuff and you're like, man, it's like, I swear it's like I've been here before, you know, like, because of the buildings start to seem sort of the same. They have that same concrete look to them, that same sort of gray, you know, that look, you know. And I was wondering if that's what you were talking about partially. Because but I also got the feeling that you were talking about, you felt like, where was a part of you saying that you couldn't point to something and say, yep, that's Australian. Like, you know, like the way some people would say, yeah, that's a totally American thing, you know. You know, Americans pointing towards Canadian. There's something I saw that was hilarious. So it was, alright, let me mention this real quick. This is hilarious. There's sometimes, now, we joke, alright, but we love Canada here, you know. Canadians are border pals, you know. We love Canada here. And I'm hoping that a lot of Canadians are being very patient with us at this time. But and they know, and I hope that they know that we kid around a lot with them and stuff. But there is some stuff that's like really Canadian, and one thing I saw was Like this was something I would look at and say, this would be hilarious to me if I heard when I saw this. I mean, I was laughing so hard it was hilarious. There was I think it was a weed store or something like that. Like I don't know what it was. What kind of store? It was like a bong store or something, like where they were selling bongs or something. And by the way, I'm not a big weed smoker or anything, but it just happened to be taking place at this. That's where it was taking place or something, like a dispensary, like a weed dispensary or something. But these two guys attacked the store, and it's still making me laugh even right now. They attacked the guy behind the counter with beer spray. Now I don't mean beer that you drink. It was beer, like stuff that you spray at bears. Like, you know, like I guess it's like like maybe like a tear gas or something type of thing, like that you spray at bears to ward off bears from you. You know, like if a bear goes to attack you, you spray it at the bear, and the bear smells it and it's like, oh, it gets stung in the eyes or something and runs off or something. It was just. I first of all, I never heard of that in my life. I had no idea there was such a thing existed. It's a great idea, actually, but you know, like you just, I don't hear enough about people in America getting attacked by. I mean, just like. I don't think there's enough of an industry necessary in America. Like it wouldn't be a big enough industry in America to have people with bear sprays, except for people who are going to like Yosemite Park or something like that. Somebody going on a camping trip to the Grand Canyon or something. Now, I mean, other than that, you could just buy it from Canada. You know? And it was, I guess you buy it from Canada. Yeah, it was hilarious. I was thinking, like, oh my God, yeah, that's exactly something that you would come across in Canada. And we sort of make fun of the way, there's a certain sort of politeness in Canada. And we sort of make fun of a little bit here. But and that's like, just like America, that wouldn't. Now that would be crazy enough to be in America. Some nut job might do that in America, but the guy behind the counter would probably pull out like an Uzi and blow the guy away with it. You know? Right? So that's what would happen in America. So it's hilarious to think that two guys broke into a store to like maybe steal like a bong with bear spray. You know, when they were like too polite to use like a gun or something like that, or a knife or a gun, or they didn't want to like really hurt the guy, you know. They just wanted a bong, you know. And they figured they'd just spray the guy and the guy would be okay, and you know, they just get off with a bong, run off with a bong. And I think the guy took one of the bongs and was swinging the bong back at them. Yeah, I think he was like, yeah, he was swinging back at them with the bong. And so it was a fight between guys with the bear spray and the guy with like basically a pipe, you know, like a wooden pipe, you know, like a peace pipe, you know. And the guys ran off. The guys took off. They were like, you know, the guy was swinging at him too much with the bong. And they took off. Which kills me because I was like, what? You really got scared from that Gandalf's pipe? So you took off. And you didn't even grab one of the bongs before you left. And that to me that says That just screams Canada to me. So I'm wondering if, like, to me that, yeah, that does. It so does. So I was wondering if a part of you was saying, is there something that do you feel like that there's just that it has become that sort of urban sprawl, and you no longer feel like the identity, or you don't feel as much identity going on anymore, where you could point to it, or are you saying there really wasn't much in the first place where you could point to it and say that's Australian, or like, yep, that's so Australian, or this is, like that, Now I won't, I can't, I've never lived there, so I can't object to you and say, no, you're so wrong, but I can point to some things that, I mean, there are things that I know Americans think of as Australian. And I was joking before, and I hope I didn't insult anybody before when I was talking about the kangaroos and the dinosaurs and stuff, I do happen to know that I know very little about Australia, but I do know that Australia has undergone a rapid urbanization since after World War II. I know that I think around the I think it was around the 50s and 60s. It became very urban. It's very urbanized. It's full of basically large big skyscrapers, sort of cities, and I know that as in the last, I think since around the 90s or so, it has started to become it specifically is a powerhouse in the area, at least economically. So I know, I believe it's Sydney is becoming like a financial center. It's becoming maybe it's Melbourne, maybe, but no, I think I'm almost positive it's Sydney is becoming is becoming a sort of like a financial a center, sort of like an equivalent of like a Hong Kong or London, financial center. And for that particular entire region, for the whole area there. And as I think they're becoming more, I think as it grows in power, well, let's not say power, because power sounds sort of evil, but in industry, well, not industry either, because it's not necessarily, I think they're becoming more of a very technical, high-tech place. And that's good. If you don't have resources, it's good to move into information technologies and things, right? That type of thing. Because that way if you don't have the if you don't have the stuff, then you can do information stuff, and specifically, because the information stuff can, like I could work in Australia and be working for a company in the United States, and be living in Australia. It doesn't, so some companies, some jobs and things can transcend the physical boundaries of transportation, there's no reason why I can't download plans or something like that to somebody, you know what I mean? From some totally different country, Hold on, I want to fix this up. I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm going to do this. Okay. But, I know that Sydney is, or I believe Sydney is becoming sort of a major financial area, much the way I think of London and Hong Kong, and sort of like like Wall Street, those things. Wall Street does a lot of. Wall Street seems to be the big international, everywhere. Whereas in London has always sort of kept that, or has fought to keep that really hard. But Hong Kong tends to be for the Asian area. London tends to be for Europe a lot. Wall Street tends to be for sort of everywhere, but I thought Sydney was becoming the sort of financial area for that entire area. New Zealand and Australia and areas over there. Some of the islands and things over there as well. So, and I do know that is not. I do know that Australia is not. I don't think of Australia as Crocodile Dundee. Well, I mean, I do sometimes. I'd like to think of it as Crocodile Dundee, but guys wrestling crocodiles and stuff. But I mean, I know that's there's a large urbanization of Australia in certain cities, in the various cities. I could think of Melbourne, Sydney. What is it? The funniest thing is, I think everybody else thinks this too a lot of the times. I think everybody always thinks of Sydney as the capital, because I always forgot. I remember looking it up and thinking, oh, it's Canberra. I was like, oh, that's right. Because I think like everybody thinks of it as like Sydney, but Perth, Brisbane, and that's about it. To be honest, that would be probably the. What did I say? Did I just say 5? I don't know, 4 or 5 cities there that I would think of. Those are the major areas I would think of. And I know those areas are several millions of people. Sydney has like 5 million people, I believe, and that's not a small population, For some of the huge sprawl Asian cities, that's nothing. But it's not any city that starts hitting over 1 million people is not a small city anymore. But one of the things I was thinking about was that's probably one of the things that's one of the things I'm going to say is I was wondering if, because there's, to me, I was talking about there's a sort of critical point where I feel like a lot of the times that there's I'm going to do this actually, where when a certain amount of when places hit a certain population, right, that they start going from sort of quaint town or something, like maybe, or a small town city with fun character, and its own uniqueness, where it starts becoming basic city, right? That's what I was talking about, right? So now I know, like I said, I know there was in a very relatively short period too, There's a huge urbanization of Australia. It gentrified real fast. Particularly, I believe, after World War II, right after World War II. So, what I'm saying is I wonder if, are you feeling that, like, I'm not sure if you're feeling that, if you're saying that you never really felt there was something that was unique to Australia, like, oh, that's so Australian, or you're feeling now, in like a modern way, that it's just become a big sprawl city now. Like, places are just becoming just these big cities now, and it's losing its any character it used to have. Or, in other words, is it, you feel like it's you're just in a giant city now, or just like, like looking at a place and going, man, it just looks like concrete everywhere? Or are you saying that you don't feel that there was too much that was unique to Australia in the first place? And it's okay to, it's okay to, like, I would hope as other Australians wouldn't get mad if you thought that. Because maybe, because there was a certain sort of quickness to how Australia was sort of formed, and maybe, you're like, or sometimes, like, and just sometimes it's because sometimes often people feel like that, because you're there, and you're not not from there, you know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know, maybe you are, but when you've been in a place for a long time, sometimes you feel like, this is all old crap and who cares? And the thing is, when people from somewhere else come across it, it's unique to them, and you feel like, when you feel like too familiar, you feel like you're too familiar with an area, and it doesn't feel different to you, but other people look at it with a different perspective, you know what I mean? Like, now, I'm not sure, well, what I'm saying is I'm not sure how you're feeling that, like what way you're feeling that way. I need a little bit more dirt. And it became interesting to me, the thought of it. Also, what do you think of as culture as well? You have to sort of think of that a little bit. I know people in the United States will say, and I disagree with it to a certain degree, will say the United States really has no culture. It has a fast food culture. Basically it's, they call it here, people here all call it like a fast food culture, where it's, hamburgers, Chevys, Hollywood, that type of thing, and that they end up in America makes up its own culture. It makes it up. It's fake. It doesn't really exist, They make movies about crap and try to say that's our culture. Now, I disagree that in a way that fast food culture is a culture. I believe it is a culture. I just think it's not a very good one. I don't think it's a very nice one or a particularly good one. Just because a culture is bad or quote bad or you don't like it doesn't mean it's not a culture. So I think there is a certain degree of culture there, but I, like many people, don't particularly like it. But so I mean, a lot of, but then, but I get, but there are a lot of weird eccentricities that you could point out in America that, and people will say that's the culture of America. And there is a feeling there. There is a strong feeling of certain other things as well. You know, there's a certain sort of, I don't know, there's this weird, there's this really strange push and pull, a constant push and pull. And I don't mean just like politics, I mean of cultures, of different like ethnicities of people who are all striving and sort of pushing and pulling and sort of moving forward and trying to get ahead and do different things and trying to push their agendas. And I tend to think of that as bad all the time. I tend to think of it as bad. They're constantly trying to push your agendas a lot forward, but I also feel I feel like it's natural for people want to push their cultures forward and either feel important about it or feel like or try to want to have basically have power. Yes, we want a certain sort of power for your culture, your ethnicity, your people, or your group. In particular, there's a lot of groups in America. There's groups for everything. So that you have a power, really, that you have a control, you have a certain amount of control or dominance. Now, I don't particularly like that. I don't like that at all. But I understand it. And I understand people wanting that. You know what I mean? Like there is something interesting in America that you can, if you don't feel like you have a quote people, like an ethnicity or minority or ethnic background, there is like any number of groups that you could associate with, where you could push agendas from that group, like for example religions, politics, nerddom, gamers, that type of thing, where you're pushing, that type of thing. So I think a lot of people, gun owners or anything where board gamers, anything where people feel like, I won't say they feel like they belong, but they feel like, even in a distant way, that could be like part of our, that there's somebody there that understands them in some way, like, let me get rid of some of this junk here. I do have a ton of dirt there. Okay. So and they sort of tend to, and the thing is, a lot of people tend to substitute that for culture. I mean, sorry, for their their group, right? They substitute that for say a minority or a cultural group, and they tend to feel sometimes they feel satisfied having that as their culture. You know, like geekdom can be like, yeah, people can feel sometimes satisfied with the idea that that's their culture, right? To a certain degree. So they feel like so in America, I mean, at least here in America, they'll do that. They'll feel like they have a culture. They feel like they'll sit there and say like, I have a culture. It's a nerd culture, or something.